Heyo, Holderhek back with another video. Due to the overwhelming success, at least success for a tiny YouTube channel like mine, of the farming guide I just put out last week, I wanted to put out a part 2 of ways you can make money farming gold as any other class other than, you know, mage, hunter, warlock, which are the three that are dominating the economy and running it into the ground. The last video had some pretty obvious options that I thought maybe some newer players didn't know about. With this video, I'm going to go into, I don't know, maybe a little bit rarer or lesser known farming options that can make you a ton of money and help you afford your epic mount, any set that you're trying to purchase, any BOE you're trying to purchase, or whatever, just, you know, to roll around in piles of gold, because it's fun and uncomfortable and whatever. You know, Scrooge McDuck is a great role model, and I liked DuckTales, so here we are. First thing we're going to get into is going to be Elemental Fire Farm. Elemental Fire is something that's used for people to produce fire resistance potions. This is the new meta. This is how you kill Ragnaros. If you watched my fire resistance guide, this is one of the things that you would use instead of fire resistance gear, and it's pretty much the option that everyone's going with. So Elemental Fire is worth a ton of money right now, and it's fairly easy to farm. There's many places that you can farm Elemental Fire, and at least on my server, #dadbanks, it's going for like 5G per, and that's pretty good. So I would definitely farm these while the market wants them, and will continue to want them while Ragnaros is the thing that everybody wants to kill. So, farming Elemental Fire, you're going to be able to farm them in Fellwood, in Arathi Highlands, in Ungoro Crater, in Searing Gorge. There's a ton of different places. I'm going to put the link for where you can farm Elemental Fire in the bottom of the video here. It's mainly going to drop off of fire elementals, but there are also some imps that you can kill that drop it. And if you're chain running BRD, the elementals in BRD can drop it as well. It's pretty much everywhere, and that just shows how much people need this item and are blowing through this item for potions when so many things drop it. And not even just like so many things, so many easy to kill things drop this item, and it's still 5 gold per. So link's gonna be in the description for Elemental Fire. Go farm yourself some Elemental Fire. You're gonna need that anyway for fire resistance potions, so you can use it for yourself, and the ones you don't use for yourself, you can donate to your guild, you can sell on the auction house, you can make an entire bank alt full of Elemental Fire and just open up trade with random people and show them how much Elemental Fire you have and make them very confused. Listen, there's a lot of things you can do in WoW Classic. Let's move on. We're going to talk about now the various elemental essences. There's Essence of Undeath, Fire, Air, Earth, and Water. Now, every single one of these has specific use cases for different enchants and different crafting items. The good news is, every single one of them is valuable for one reason or another. For the sake of, like, brevity, and so this video doesn't become 30 minutes long like I am known to make videos, I'm just gonna list where these things are found and what they're used for in the description below, and then I'll tell you where to farm them, because that's really what you're here for, right? Basically, they'll all make you money. We'll start with Essence of Undeath. Essence of Undeath really only drops off of mobs in dungeons. It does drop off of things outside of dungeons, but it's a very low percentage. So if you ran something like Skullomance or Strathholm or even Dire Maul West, just back to back to back to back, you would end up with, you know, a decent amount of Essence of Undeath. Like, if you're like me and you don't really need anything from these places anymore, you can just say, listen, I'll pass on everything, let me just get the Essences of Undeath, right? Cool. That can actually work out for you if for some magical reason you've tripped and fallen over the transmutation of Undeath to Water, because you could take Undeath, turn it into water, and then it becomes from like a 5 gold drop to a 20 gold drop. So if you have that, you're going to be rolling in it. Next, we'll talk about Essence of Water. Essence of Water is cool because you can get it farming your DM East jump runs, as Hydra Spawn has a fairly high drop percentage, you know, fairly high in quotes. Other than that, you can farm them from Toxic Horrors in Fellwood. You can farm them from the Plagued Water Elementals in the Eastern Plaguelands. And as I mentioned before, with the Undeath, Essence of Water is actually your highest gold per hour, I guess, if you're farming it, just because it's used in a couple of very, very important enchants. I believe it's like healing power and spell power. So every caster in the game needs Essence of Water. So since basically this is World of Magecraft, so farm up those Essences of Water and milk those mages dry. Make your money. Send them back to Zul'Farrak. Cool. Moving on, we'll go into the Essence of Fire. Essence of Fire is going to be really easy for you to farm if you're farming Elemental Fire, because a lot of the things that drop Elemental Fire also drop Essence of Fire. The last time I checked auction house prices, Essence of Fire, I think, is the one that sells for the least, because you're going to be tripping over this thing doing Molten Core, and it's not used for a ton of useful things, but people still need it for Robes of the Archmage and all the other things that you need these elemental essences for, so it's definitely not a waste of time to farm Essence of Fire, especially if you are also getting Elemental Fire at the exact same time. Now we're going to briefly go into Essence of Earth. Essence of Earth has a lot of things not going for it. It's not really used for anything useful except like Robes of the Archmage and Force Reactive Disc, but because it's used for Robes of the Archmage, it's still gonna sell for about as much as Essence of Fire. So if you end up with any Essence of Earth, it's not gonna be the worst thing in the world, but it's really not gonna be the one that you're going out of your way to farm. Another thing I think I mentioned in the first video is living essences that you can get from Dire Maul doing those jump runs. It's just another thing to add on to the money you can make doing those jump runs. But those are going to primarily drop from the treants and the flower packs, and basically anything in there that's like a tree is going to have a chance of dropping this living essence, which is used for healing enchants and a bunch of other stuff. The only issue is, because Dire Maul came out, the prices of Living Essence has kind of tanked, but you can still get a bunch of them while you're doing the jump runs and sell it anyway. Like, you're already there, why not? You can also farm these in the open world, in the Plaguelands, and a little bit of Ungoro, but it's really not worth it. Last essence we're going to talk about is going to be Essence of Air. These you can farm from the air elementals in Silithus, but that's pretty much it. Fortunately, it has a decent drop rate, so it's not going to be that hard for you to get a bunch of these, and it's also used for the Spell Power Enchant, the Force Reactive Disc, Robe of the Archmage, and the Shifting Cloak, so farming Essences of Air is going to be another great way for you to make money. Just head down to Silithus and unceremoniously murder every single wind elemental you see. That's going to be it for the essences. As per which ones have the most value, it's definitely water essence, but if you spend some time farming air essence or even fire essence as you're doing elemental fire, or you ended up, you know, with a couple earth essence or living essence, it's not going to be the end of the world. You can sell those and make bank. Now, let's move on to larval acids. Larval acid really only has one purpose in the game right now, and that's to craft Hide of the Wild, but because it's used to craft Hide of the Wild, it's extremely expensive and extremely useful, because that is the BIS healing cloak for like a really, really long time. So every healer is going to want to craft Hide of the Wild. So you're just going to have to take yourself out to the Plaguelands, and you basically just have to farm grubs all day long until you get a stack of larval acid. And that's going to sell for a grip of money, and you're going to be doing really, really well for yourself. This synergizes pretty well with farming Essence of Water too, because those plagued elementals are out there, but they're not really in the same place. But you can decide what kind of farming pattern you want. You know, going back to the original video, maybe you're out there for herbs, you kill some water elementals, you kill some grubs, you end up with some dream foil, some larval acid, and some Essence of Water. That'd be a pretty good day. Last, I kind of wanted to do an honorable mention to the golden pearl. You can only get a golden pearl out of a big mouth clam, and the only way to get a big mouth clam is to fish, or it drops on an extremely high percentage from nagas and murlocs. Now, typically in a big mouth clam, all you're going to get is some clam meat and maybe some like low quality pearls. And the golden pearl inside the big mouth clam is an extremely low drop percentage. But if you went out to Ashara and just massacred all the naga out there, you'd end up with an entire bag full of big mouth clams. And you know, if you feel like that is a fun way to spend your day, you might end up with 1 or 2 golden pearls after an hour or 2 or 3. And each golden pearl, at least right now on my server, is selling for like 40 gold. So they're worth more than righteous orbs. So if you're kind of a spend a lot of time to get one big item kind of person, a golden pearl might be the way that you want to go and farm your money. Okay, everybody, I hope those were a few I guess, less 4-digit IQ suggestions on how to make your money in Classic WoW. I know in the first video a lot of those, at least I've been told, are fairly obvious and some people knew about them. That was kind of the point. But these, maybe farming essences along with your elemental fire, farming golden pearls, farming larval acids, maybe these are slightly less well known, and if you didn't know about them, I truly hope they help you get the things you need to get in this game. Self-promotion time. If you like the content, give me a subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell so you're notified. If you just subscribe, you're never really notified of when I release videos. And if you'd like to be notified of when I release videos, hit the bell. Ding, ding, ding. Follow me on Twitch. That is twitch.tv/theholderhek. I'll be streaming my raids, I'll be streaming my farms, I'll be streaming my duels. People seem to like to duel me for some reason.
Holy sh**!
Was that good? Every swing, I have a 20% chance to win, so it's really not fair for them, honestly. Anyway, you can contact me via the Discord. Jaybird and myself founded. That's in the link below. You can message me on Fairbanks in Classic WoW as Holderkek. That's in the description below. Message me on here. Leave whatever comments you want. Cool? Cool. Everybody have a fantastical rest of your day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.